Richard, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. How are you, Chris?
Good. How are you?
Great, great.
You're in New York, right?
I am. I am.
All right, excellent. Hey, Richard, you and I connected about a month ago, and I learned about Vbout, an awesome marketing automation system. You're the CEO, the founder of Vbout. With that said, I think I'm just going to hand it over to you. Why don't you briefly introduce yourself, tell us a little bit more about Vbout, and then walk us through your system.
Absolutely, Chris. Thank you so much for having me. So yeah, this is really what I do. We're a marketing technology platform. Traditionally, we started as an agency, so we were managing clients' social media campaigns, automation, email, all that sort of stuff. And everything grew on us as far as technology. So we had to use an average of 10 tools per client. Or on the other hand, we had the option to use a very expensive tools that could run us almost a mortgage on a house, a payment on a car. I'm talking thousands of dollars. So this
Yeah.
is how Vbout came to inception, and realized there's a big gap in the market. The landscape is changing very fast, so companies need to be on all these channels. They need to be doing email. They need to be doing automation. So we needed to provide a solution that fills in that gap, and this is how we started working on Vbout. Little background about myself. I am an entrepreneur since I was 18. I came to the States. The second day, it snowed, so I started my first business of what I call shoveling snow in front of driveways. And I made my first $500 in one day, which was amazing. And from there on, I started a few businesses. Some of them succeeded, some of them did not. And here I am. I love doing this. On the other hand, we have a nice community in New York City, around 5,000 marketers. We do meet once a month. We provide some of the best or latest in the industry marketing updates, whether we're talking about adaptive marketing, about predictive technologies, neuromarketing, all that sort of cool terminologies you might hear. So we're always on top of the latest in marketing.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's in a nutshell. I mean, personally about myself, I love swimming, playing soccer. In fact, I think our final is this Thursday, so we have a final in our league locally. Hopefully, we'll win that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I play soccer as well. I got an indoor game tonight. Very cool.
Cool. And it gets colder here in New York. It gets more exciting to play with loads of layers.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, so I would like to give your audience a tour. Is that okay?
Good. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to learn about Vbout and share it with my audience.
Cool. So, I mean, the core problem we're trying to solve is that we want clients to reach a lot more audience in a more effective way. So traditionally, people are on social media and they have a social media channel for their business, right? So they are spending time publishing, managing comments and things. At the same time, they're collecting emails from their website. They're looking at their customers' data. They're analyzing this data. Maybe they're not, although they should be. And also, taking that data into some sort of an automated process. So to give you an example, somebody fills out a form on their website. What do you do in the next 30 days? And I don't know if you know, but it's very critical to be following up with people on a consistent basis if you want to grow your business consistently, right? I think there's a parallel thing to notice there.
Absolutely.
So with that, the Vbout platform has multiple tools to help businesses manage all the stack that I just mentioned. So I'm going to walk you through a quick scenario. And if you have any questions, Chris, please stop me at any time, okay?
Will do. Thank you.
So let's assume a business wants to launch a product, and they're asking people to visit a landing page where they could, showcase what the product does, how much it is, the benefits of using the product, the different pricing they could get it on or variations of it, maybe a video. So what they can do through Vbout, Chris, is they can build out these landing pages very easily through a drag and drop interface. They could customize the forms, the communications, the copy, photos. So all this stuff can be handled through the landing page. So once the landing page is all finished and buttoned up, the user can launch it, and they would go into, let's say, social media to send people to that page, right, as one channel. So through Vbout, they'll be connecting Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, the main channels they manage, and they could compose a message with the link to that page that they just created here. So once people land on the page, hopefully they like what you wrote, and obviously you have to follow the best conversion metrics, whether it is, what is the text that needs to go on the call to action, the color of the buttons that needs to go on the form, the kind of wording you use. All this stuff is really, really critical. And in conversion and online in general, the details makes a whole lot of difference. So the conversions are heavily relying on details. So coming back to social media, through Vbout, you can schedule your posts and kind of see what's going on as far as, the next 30 days. So you can schedule your posts ahead, whether it is you're sending them over to this page to fill out a form, or you're talking about an article that you've posted. Now through here, you can manage any comments that come in. So assuming somebody asks you a question, oh, can we buy the product from that page, or can we pay you later, or do you have some installment payment, whatever the question might be, this stuff can be handled and managed through Vbout. So I can log in, view the messages, and reply back directly from within Vbout. Now hopefully people come in here, they fill out the form, they're interested in whatever you have to offer. Now what you can do as a marketer, obviously the traditional way would be to be sending emails for every single person that joins. A week later, you follow up with them with another email and so on. Or you can use our automation, what we call Journey. So I can say, with an easy drag and drop, no need for any technical know-how or anything, any developers, you can program Vbout to do the work for you in a sense. So here I would just drag the sequences. I would say if somebody joins that form on that landing page, let's just send them through a sequence of emails over the course of, a few weeks or a few days. Obviously, this is depending on the business. And because email is only one channel of communication, we're adding a lot more. So for instance, we have SMS messages. We have web push coming soon, meaning you can send a web browser notification to the user. We're going to have a chat box that's going to prompt users to interact with you somehow. So email is just one piece of the communication that users should be using. It's
Wow, so it's a very multi-touch system. Do you find that something works better than other things, or what's your experience with that?
Yeah, just a couple of quick, if I want tips for using this sort of flow. I use a thing called the naked emails, meaning I don't put any design into this. Mm-hmm. And obviously this depends if you're e-commerce versus not. So in my case, if I'm sending people to, like a little welcome email, I try to make it, I call it the naked email because there's no design to it. Right?
Yep.
Let me see if I can show you a preview. Just a very simple hello, etc. Right? You have to use personalization. So if you have people's names, put them in the email, put them in the subject line as well, because you want to stand out a little bit from the thousands of messages that the users are receiving.
Yeah.
You have to give the user the option to unsubscribe, because in many places around the world, this is actually illegal not to include it. So just make sure that you put that in there, and just make it nice and short. Don't be, sending emails that are, 10 paragraphs long and you have to scroll and scroll to get to the call to action. Finally, think mobile, because on mobile devices, people might have to click on load more to load the content. So if you have call to action, try to include it at the top of your content as well as on the bottom. There's a lot more tips, but this is as far as the content itself. Now, being consistent and spanning your communications over the course of days and not minutes is definitely critical.
Yeah.
You don't want to spam people by sending them 15 messages in the first 10 minutes they interact with you, right? And we see people making those mistakes a lot. So we always advise, spread things out a little bit across a few days. And you can even filter things out based on, what if they did not open a previous email. So only send them in a certain route, only if they did not take a certain action. And the cool thing is that this can be automatically programmed and tracked through Vbout, so you don't have to, worry too much about the technology underneath.
Yeah.
The last thing is the error avoidance. A lot of companies, they create so many of these. So the best practices is to just have a good handle on the flow, and don't overdo it. Right? Start with a couple that are consistently, using those techniques I just mentioned, and measure the performance and see how that pans out. Yeah.
Great. Perfect. Are there quick questions? Are there any downloads, or is it simply a web-based application?
This is a fully web-based application. You can access it from anywhere, from any device. No restrictions.
Awesome. Quick question. Did you provide, how long does it usually take to get up and running with Vbout?
This is a great question. Now, because we cover a lot more, there's a few more functionalities here, but I just covered the basics. Typically, depending on how many functionalities or products they want to use. The social media is literally a 20-minute learning curve, and people can be up and running with it. Automation itself, if they read some of our guides and instructions and things, I would say 2 hours of learning curve should be sufficient. And from there on is just a drag and drop. I mean, technically 2 hours is for a beginner. Landing pages is simple WYSIWYG, so if you want to use that by itself, it might take you a few minutes to get how this works. Let's assume it's an hour. So on the aggregate, for someone using the entire tool, 3 to 5 hours of learning curve. Now, mind you, this is compared to where you have to. Let's say you're using one of our competitors, it might be about 50 hours of onboarding and demoing and consultants and $5,000 of setup and all that stuff. So we've slashed this into 1/10 of the time.
Yeah, I was surprised when we did the demo how easy it is, how seamless everything seems to work. Who's a good fit? Who's a perfect fit for Vbout?
So we have obviously different markets that that are on the system. Starting from any business that's using more than one product is a great fit for us, because we literally right off the bat we save them time because they're using 2 products in one place. We save them money because we end up costing a lot less than using 2 tools that you pay for, and you get an awesome support. So that's key. So small businesses who are using more than one tool, they understand the power of marketing. I mean, this is very critical. Our biggest churn, Chris, are those who think that just by sending one email campaign they're going to start selling. But as you know, marketing needs to be a lot more engaged. I mean, you need to be consistent. You need to wait a few months for you to see the right results. Yeah. People need to know you, establish a relationship with you. So it's almost like dating. So you have to date over a certain amount of time before you go to the stage 2 of the relationship.
No, absolutely. So what I do like, one thing that I specifically like about Vbout, you provide a ton of training. I think you have a section with online trainings, etc. Tell us more about that, please.
Sure. So technically through the system, every section we have has an associated help that you can look up the guide, and some of them have videos and such. Our support is always there. So a lot of times we don't only just help you set things up. We work on the consultative side of things, where you can ask us, how do you think this should be done? Do you think this looks good? Is my call to action clear? So you can always engage support for that. And on our blog, I mean, we have so much resources that you can look at. Just look real quick. So from the mistakes you should avoid, this is one that's getting a lot of traction right now, the 2018 trend. Other things like what is predictive marketing, so you can log in and learn about predictive marketing through a PowerPoint presentation. So a lot of resources here to help you kind of push your learning in the marketing space.
Yeah, I think a lot of companies they shy away from using a marketing automation system because it's not too long ago it used to be such a huge undertaking, and it was
Hmm.
expensive to implement a system, a marketing automation system.
Sure.
I think what Vbout addresses is really it's a tool that's accessible to nearly every business, right? Small
Exactly.
and large.
Exactly, exactly. And because we came from the background I mentioned in the beginning, I mean, we had to pay thousands of dollars, and that was one of our options. That didn't make sense to us. So, for us, the pricing, the entry level, I mean, you can start at free if you're very small, and then you can jump your way up to $50, $100. So we understand that ROI needs to make sense. If you're spending $2,000 a month, you have to be making 20.
Yeah.
So with us, we understand that you're not going to get results immediately. So starting at, let's say, $100 price point per month, eventually, you'll grow, you'll need more, you'll start making more money, and the tool will be an integral part of what you're doing. So that's kind of the core of what we do, and we make it easy, we make it affordable.
Okay, awesome. All right. Well, I hope that after watching this video, we hopefully were able to pique your interest. You can click on the link below in this YouTube video to sign up for a free trial or use a paid version. Richard and his team provide a ton of educational content, help, etc. Richard, any last thoughts? One last more tip for our audience today?
Yes, I mean, for me, I can go on forever on tips, right?
Yeah.
Because we work with thousands of businesses. I mean, one exciting thing is that we're on top of in our industry right now. So that's exciting. Please allow me to share this with you guys.
Oh, wow.
So we made the top because of, the price, the usability. But what we care about really is we love seeing business see results from this. It's not about the bottom line. It's not a number. So we are product focused. We are customer focused, customer centric, and we're success focused because we want you to succeed on this. It doesn't make sense otherwise.
Yeah.
So I would love to learn what your challenges are. If you have any questions, we can just look me up on LinkedIn, and if you can put in the link as well, that would be great.
Yep.
Just ask me if you have any challenges or anything. I would love to help you guys out. And yeah.
Cool. Hey, thanks so much for doing this expert interview with us today. I learned a lot. It's a really cool tool, and I hope that our audience will be able to take advantage of a pretty cool marketing automation system. Richard, thanks so much. I'm going to stop the recording right now. All right.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.